Beltec, United Pacific, and Classic Truck Parts of America for working back with the famed Street Trucks magazine. We're so excited. And Chris, keep me honest, we're going live soon, right?
We're going live now.
Dude, we're live. And here's the awesome thing. Everybody's kind of rolling in. Just in about 30 minutes, we're going to start bringing more content. So I want to give a huge shout out to Beltec Matt out there in social media world. He does a great job. And I tell you what, Beltec, love those products. And thank you guys so much. So we're here. And Minitruckin Nats, a.k.a. Mini Nats, 2020, y'all. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, we're out here at Minitruckin Nats. You guys have heard us talk about this all day. It is a fantastic day here in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. Big ups to Street Trucks. Thanks to the sponsors, including Beltec. You got to follow Beltec Matt on Instagram. He's a great guy. But we're here with Ben Smith. Ben was recently featured in Street Trucks, your favorite magazine that you can find on newsstands. And Ben, say hello.
Hey, how are y'all?
What's going down?
Not much, man. Hanging out.
Tell us how much you love Mini Nats.
Oh, Mini Nats is awesome. First time here.
Yeah, so Mini Nats first time here. And where are you from, brother?
King, North Carolina.
King, North Carolina. So let's do this. Let's take a walk around the truck. It's got this Mitsubishi, as we like to joke with them and call it an S10. Go ahead and as you kind of follow Chris here around, talk to a little bit about the truck. You know, the grill, the paint work, all that stuff.
Full Phantom grill. Stilling body kit, of course, around the whole entire bottom. The paint, True Blue Pearl, House of Colors. He went in and airbrushed graphics, skulls, all kinds of like weather look gears and stuff to it.
Yep. How long does a paint job like this take?
This one took 3 years and 4 months.
A lot of work, right?
Added motorcycle mirrors with a skull hand, kind of airbrushed those into the same kind of paint. Stripes down the side were actually the same factory stripes that came on it from the factory. So it had a factory red paint job with those kind of slanted stripes on it. And I try to keep that in there and then just add the graphics inside of it.
Awesome. Talk to us about the interior.
So we added some Iron Ace hot rod seats, added some Volkswagen plaid. It actually comes from Germany, and a place in New York sells it, and added a Forever Sharp steering wheel. We added the plaid into the shifter boot, added a Pioneer head unit, 4 Memphis 12s and 2 Pioneer 1000-watt amps. The plaid is actually on the headliner too, on the sun visors. We actually put some of the plaid in the sun visors. Kind of added all the stripes and stuff that were going down the top into the dash. Goes through the dash, over the top, down the back. Tried to add the paint on the inside too to kind of match the outside.
Excellent. And then when you get to the bed, there's a lot of work in there. I know the paint kind of carries into it. You got your son though also in the paint, which was called out in the write-up that Adam Johnson shot for Street Trucks. So make sure you subscribe to the magazine. You got your son Riley there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we got my son on the side. We actually added in the bed. It's kind of hard to see, but in behind the tank, it has me, my dad, and my son. We kind of added the family tradition logo.
Yeah, 3rd generation mini trucker, which is pretty awesome, man. You know, your son's going to be that 3rd generation.
He is. He was actually at the Drop-'em show with me last week and actually got Rookie of the Year.
Nice.
So that was pretty sweet for him.
Yeah, very nice, man. And then, of course, you got the hard lines in here. You got the tanks all painted. So a lot of work even on the bed sides.
So the tank, actually, I done a make-believe distillery and put my dad's name on it.
Very
So it says Smith's Premium Barreled Whiskey. Stokes County, North Carolina is where my dad's from. established in 1979, the year I was born.
Excellent. You got the clear tail lights. Those
do.
can't be easy to find.
And it's actually got on the tailgate what it looked like when my dad on it, the red. The old school Mighty Max logo is actually the old Chevrolet font. So we added that in.
Yeah, and the clear tail lights, are those easy to find?
Not anymore. You can get some. I think they're kind of in China. I think you can get them on eBay. These were actually pretty popular back in the day. You can get them off most of your websites. I think the body kit actually come from Godfather Customs back in the day.
Nice.
So we got more skulls on this side, some more of the stressed weathered look metal.
So
Got the old school Pacer 20s.
yeah, so as we wind it up here and we look at some of the other details of the truck, what are some of your favorite things, or one favorite thing about this amazing Mitsubishi, which we joke around and call it an S10? It's not.
I guess two of the biggest things is that I love about it is it was my dad's.
Okay, so it's his dad's. You took it over. It was custom then.
It was.
But you took it to the next level.
And the color. Of course, I'm big on blue, so I love the color.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
The graphics turned out killer, so I kind of like that too.
Yeah, you can see the full feature in Street Trucks. Some of these will also make their way to streettrucksmag.com, so you can Google or find it via your favorite saved link.
No, I'll get the hood for you if you want to see
Oh
it.
yeah, let's go ahead and show you the engine before we wrap it up, because there's a lot of detail work there, as you can imagine.
So here's under the hood, of course. We went under there with some of the skulls. The Mitsubishi logo. The Mitsubishi logo even has skulls inside of it. I done a little paint work under here, kind of added into the thing. Added a little OLP nod onto the engine.
Yeah, thanks
Got
for
all
doing
the
that.
air cleaner added.
It's pretty awesome stuff. A lot of enthusiasts like you have come out this weekend to Mini Nats. Street Trucks, of course, is out here. They're supporting the scene.
ClassicParts.com for deals and specials. The lowest prices on thousands of parts. Centrally located, delivering in 1 to 3 working days. Free catalogs for Chevy and GM trucks, 1947 to 98. Look for the deals and specials now at ClassicParts.com.
Yo, so it's ODB from Our Lifestyle, the podcast. We're out here with Street Trucks. As you know, we're on to the next enthusiast. And we've got Bill. And Bill, why don't you go ahead and give your full name here and let us know where you're from.
My name is Bill Dietrich. I'm from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
Go Pack Go. I got to get that
Go
one in
Pack.
there. Bill is a hardcore enthusiast. He has been in shows all over, even in this crazy 2020 year. Thanks so much for bringing out the dually. Let's do a walk around and talk about it a little bit, right?
Sure.
So, talk to us a little bit about the work that's in this.
Well, you know, I bought the truck. There was some stuff done to it. It was a hot rodder guy's truck. I bought it off of eBay. Totally redid the whole entire truck. All right, and I was just gonna have it as a shop truck, right? Like
We all know
it's a
how
shop
that
truck.
goes.
So I went a little bit overkill. Started taking it all down, and ended up pulling the engine and doing all the body work. Obviously, I run my own collision shop, so I do all that stuff. So I went and looked at a bumper, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's got
Why don't I
almost
just-
like, it looks like two bumpers.
and I did. I grafted 2 full-size bumpers and cut the bottom off of the top one and the top off of the other one, and I butted them together and then made the sides and everything to make it look as original as possible. You know, a lot of them you see that are done, they're like really flat.
Yeah, the paint looks good. The wheels look
Yeah.
good. It's got a great stance. Talk to us a little bit about how long it's been painted.
I painted it in 2005.
Awesome. It looks good. Now, another aspect is the interior, dude. The speaker box, it's a little over the top for some, but it's right up your alley. Talk to us about the interior.
All right, the interior, me and a buddy of mine, Andy Pape, you know, we wanted to build something that in the future, I didn't have kids at the time. And we decided, okay, we want to have 4 people be able to ride in this and still have something that's a huge punch of bass, and because that's what I like to do, and that's, you know, we used to do DB drag, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, so it's perfect for the street. Yeah, a guy like me or you,
Yep.
you know, it works, but for kids and everything, and now I got 2 kids, 2 younger kids, so They fit in there perfect and they don't fight because there's a wall.
Daddy, turn it up, right?
Right.
Well, thanks for talking to us about the door panels and everything. You know, the interior as a whole, because there's a lot of work in it now.
Yeah.
It's a different setup in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
So, Bill, talk to us a little bit about what you did here and why.
Well, what I wanted to do is, you know, the theme of the truck is kind of more of a hot rod. You know, and I wanted to go more hot rod-ish, still mini truck style, but in a full size. So I ended up, I just bought, I framed it all out. This is all kitchen grade stainless. Just basically took the DA and put it on grinder mode and made all my stuff.
Pretty awesome.
And you know, I did it all myself. I think everything that I done on this, the only things that I haven't done was the upholstery and the wheels.
Got it.
Everything else is done at my shop. That's dark walnut, that's true walnut, that's probably 1 5/8 thick walnut.
Excellent.
You know, and then I made the bridge and everything. And the funny thing is when I first built this truck, I used to, ITB days, I used to,
Right.
I used to haul 2 other full sizes or another mini truck, and that was crazy. I'm thinking to myself now these days, I'm like, are you an idiot? Why did you do that? But you know, I built the truck to drive it. It pulls great.
Yeah, I love that you got, you know, the black paint looks really good on it overall. Of course, we didn't mention the Colorado custom steering wheel, so I think that's really cool. You got just a nice hot rod look. Love the wheels of it. I got to ask you this as we kind of wrap it up, Bill. What is your favorite aspect of your truck?
Favorite aspect, I have to say, probably the inner door panels.
It's a lot of work in
Doing,
those.
you know, even if we open up this door, you know, like I get point out, you know, of going through all the switches, doing all the pinstriping through all the switches. But I always wanted, I thought to myself, I'm like, let's make a mirror image of the inside like outside.
Absolutely, yeah.
You don't really see that.
Yeah, and going over the window switches and all that.
At
to
least
your
at
point,
the time.
yeah, it's almost like you said, the mirror image of the outside of the door on the inside. That's a lot of detail.
Yep. So that was something that I really wanted to do.
Now, Bill, as we kind of wrap it up, the last thing I wanted to ask you is, do we have an opportunity for you to give out, if you know your Instagram, or spell your last name if people want to go out there and see more of your truck?
Yeah, you can on Facebook. You can just do Bill Dietrich, BILLDIETERICH.
Okay, you gotta do that one more time. Bill
DIETERICH.
Pretty simple there.
Yeah, and then you can find me. You can find me on.
Yeah, you'll find about. So again, thanks to Beltec, we're out here. We're on to the next one. Big ups to Street Trucks. Make sure you subscribe to this awesome magazine.
Hi, this is David with United Pacific Industries. This week we're here at the Week of Wicked build. We're building our C10 truck. You can see them working on it behind us. I thought I'd take a moment to show you a few of the products that we manufacture. One of our signature items is putting modern technology in classic lighting. So we make exact copies of the OE looking lenses with, in this case, the sequential taillights in the 5559, 6066, 6772, and the 73 to 87 square bodies as well. This lighting provides a level of safety that classic cars desperately need, especially when you're coming home from the car show late at night. Also displayed here is our chrome rear bumper. We make the front bumper. We also now make the painted versions of those as well, and everything needed in between, the bumper bolts, license plate frame, license plate light. We also manufacture, wiper arms and blades, and then on the interior side, of course, we do all the factory door handles from 47 to 87, steering wheel and steering wheel accessories, the chrome dash bezel, brake pedal with deluxe trim, dome light lens. And for the interior, we also make lighting that is perfect to put underneath your dash rail, light up the floorboard. For the exterior, we make the rear view mirrors, and these rear view mirrors have the turn signal feature in them as well. Everything needed to get your truck back on the road. Check out our products at upcarparts.com. All these items are displayed there, and you can read a little bit about our lighting LED technology as well.
Brian,
build it yourself or with friends or?
Nope, the whole thing. My dad and I did the whole truck. That's my first actual paint job.
First time you ever had a paint gun, huh?
It is.
What made you decide to go with this color combo? It's beautiful, tone on tone gray there.
I had this same color on a previous truck, but it had the chrome, and I really liked the just monochromatic tone like that. Went with it.
What's all the deal with the suspension? You got a custom chassis or?
Yeah, it's Porterbuilt drop member front and rear, Slam Specialties bags. It's just conventional SMC valves for the air management, ABS controller.
What about the wheels on it? They got the little
Eagle alloys actually. Two-piece wheel they did for me. Kind of fit the bill.
color matches. What are you looking at size-wise on it?
20 by 8.5s in the front, 20 by 10s in the back.
Nice. What's the deal with the bed? What made you go that direction with the bed?
I always liked the wood bed floors in them. They just look nice. Decided I want to go a dark color. Get the back part hinges up. That way you can access all the controls.
What kind of body mod or anything you do on it, or just straighten the body out on it? And
Pretty much straightened it out, shaved a couple of things, got rid of the locks, the antenna. That's about it though. Just keep the classic lines.
you drive this thing much, or is it a trailer, or how you?
I drive it locally.
Sunny driver?
Pretty much. The roads in Illinois are not very good and not forgiving for custom trucks. It's got about 2,500 miles on it since I built it, so a little bit.
Tell us a little bit about the interior in it.
The interior is kind of just done over stock stuff. There's Jetta bucket seats. I custom built the center console.
That's a different seat for a C10.
Yeah, I was actually just kind of walking around the junkyard looking for nice leather buckets, and these happen to be not destroyed and in good shape. I started doing upholstery, so I'll probably redo them at some point, but they work for now.
Nice.
Just kind of clean and not overly done or anything.
It's nice to see a father-son get together and build a vehicle like that.
Yeah, it works out well, and my dad had a good time doing it. He'd always wanted to do a frame-off build, and he kind of went to town on this one.
Brandon Burrell here again with Burrell Images, here with Street Trucks Magazine, doing some interviews here at the Southeast Minitruckin Nationals in Maggie Valley, North Carolina. We have Eddie Gordy here, this beautiful Mazda called Cookies and Cream. Tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from. Eddie Gordy, Germany, North Carolina. Yeah, in a relaxed atmosphere. This is my 1991 Mazda B2200. Bought it from a 7-year-old Vietnam vet. About 4 years ago. It's pretty rough when I got it. Cleaned her up a little bit. Supposed to be a daily driver per se. That didn't work out too well. Being a mini trucker at heart for 30 plus years probably. Kind of always fell through that I wanted to have a Mazda all the time. So yeah, have a 99 Ford F350 that I've been working on for years. Need something to fill that little bit of a void. So one thing led to another. Worked my magic with this one, and 80% original paint, pretty much a survivor all around. And so now she's done been in one magazine feature and on the back of the Mini Truckers Union shirt. And so now we're here at this great Mini Nat show for 4 years in a row with this little Jeep we got.
What made you decide to keep it mostly stock versus cutting into it like you usually do?
Well, I wanted to kind of keep it old school, to kind of let people reminisce of back in the day of how they would build a truck, and kind of put a little new school twist on it. And
Yeah, the interior definitely don't look old school.
No, I had to put a little new school into that, but we still kept a little little new school, old school things in it. And we even flush mounted the recessed a 8-inch square sub, the LT7, in the jack hole. Everything just kind of make it sleek and hide it when we need to.
Eddie Gordy, my baby daddy.
Now this obviously isn't your first time messing with the Mazda.
What
What got you into your first Mazda?
Yeah, so had a 87 Mazda B2000. I drove in the 90s to high school, and it progressed into a lowrider magazine tour vehicle in the radical truck class. Ran it for 5 years, and pretty much took everything from here to the Midwest, and even took it out to Las Vegas Super Show in 2001.
So what's your next plan for this truck?
Time permitting this winter, I think we're going to pull the suspension, what's not finished under the truck as far as powder coat. We're going to do a little something under the underside of it and get it ready for LST for Relaxed Atmosphere's 30th year anniversary.
Well, open the hood and show us what you got under the hood.
All right.
I think under the hood is one of the things that sets this truck apart. It's not a stock look by any means.
So this thing here, it was when I got it, it was pretty much black. Everything under the hood, total black. So didn't want to cut all the fender wells out. Still wanted to kind of keep that stock retained look. So
Even with the air ride.
Even with the air ride. So I done mini tubs on it, and all the violet, candy violet powder coat is the same exact powder coat that I had run on my Lowrider Magazine tour truck back over 15 plus years ago.
Now your tie rod, suspension stuff's all powder coated the same too, isn't it?
Yeah, all the sway bars, stabilizer bars, lower control arms. So we're running the Ride Tech Fox shocks, running the lower 3-inch DJM drop control arms. Try to keep that wheel as straight as possible without having severe negative camber.
I guess tell by the windshield you've been to at least a show or two with it.
I've been to at least 3.
And
yeah, so
it brings home quite a few best interiors too.
Yeah, I was Dallas Auto Interior out of Concord, North Carolina, done that this year or this past winter before LST 2020, and it's had 2 best interior awards back to back, and I was pretty happy about that. So it's hard work pays off.
You also dabble in several other people's vehicles. You did the engine bay in my truck that was on the cover of the August issue.
Yep. You give me free reins on that, and kind of surpassed and oversaw your vision of what you wanted, and so I tell many people if I can please you, I can please anybody.
Well, I appreciate you bringing it over to us today, letting us check it out, and our viewers check it out. So where can people find you online?
Find me online, Instagram at Eddie Gordy _ Junior. It's pretty much on Instagram and on Facebook. Big Black Fabrication.
I appreciate your time.
Man, thank you.
And we're out here continuing the coverage of Mini Naps, aka the Minitruckin Nationals. Big ups to street trucks for coming out here, supporting the scene. Big shout out to Beltec and the other sponsors. So we're here with none other than Adam Tripp from The Spark Show. Good dude, mini trucker at heart. Recently picked up this truck. Want him to talk about it. So why don't you introduce where you from? And I don't want to steal your thunder like I already kind of have. But tell us a little bit about Adam Tripp, where you're from, and then we'll get going.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you having me on. Picked this truck up in August. Built originally in Indiana. 98 Nissan Frontier.
Yep.
It's got an Xterra front clip, 20-inch intro V's, stock 4-body.
Stock 4-body drop.
Stock 4-body drop. We've got factory AC, heat, motor, just to be able to drive it anywhere I want to, drive it to Tennessee and back. That's the plan with this truck, is just keep on driving it, keep on showing it.
Now, I don't know if you saw this, but Street Trucks recently shared this on Instagram, right? And I do know that you picked it up from someone, and that was cool that you got the truck. What are you looking to kind of maybe, you're going to just enjoy it, or are you going to change anything up?
There'll definitely be some changes in its future. Going to update it first, make sure it's 100% driving, and then we'll definitely change some things. Maybe a little update on paint. Maybe do some tail lights. We'll just have to see. But it's one of my favorite colors, that Mustang Grabber blue, and definitely just enjoying it, man.
Now, the cool thing is also you do a show, The Spark Show in Sevierville, Tennessee, which is a fun show, usually every August. Will we get a chance to see this truck out there next August?
Absolutely. We will have the Spark Show, second weekend in August every year, Sevier County Fairgrounds in Sevierville, Tennessee. And we definitely cater to everything. Mini trucks, lifted, full-size cars, you name it.
Full size on the rise. Why don't you open the door? Let's see the interior on this bad boy. Super clean. When you think about mini trucks, a lot of times, you know, oftentimes there's a lot going on, but this one is super clean. You got that modern, you know, door panels, a little bit of paint there and stuff like that, and all black interior, so we kind of like that. Looks like you got gauges in there. You rocking the Viera compressors?
Absolutely, got some Viers. Definitely gonna look at maybe upgrading to some new, maybe a black pair.
2.0 wheelies?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks damn good. Now in the bed, you got a lot going on here, right? So a little bit different kind of you know, look, right? So tell us about that.
So we've got a cantilever set up back here. We've got gives it good lift on this and just a little bit of flair on it, but definitely gives me enough to get down the road and then show off a little bit on that metal work.
So let's end this one out, man. First off, thank you so much for coming out to the show, supporting the scene. It looks like you're recently an XL Extreme Lows petitioner. So congrats to that.
Thank you.
And show everybody your tattoo. You talk about the Spark Show. You want to get behind the show? Check it out, man. He's got his own show on his arm in the ink. So, listen, Street Trucks. Thanks to everyone out there that continues to subscribe to this magazine. We love the scene, and Street Trucks stays on the rise. ODB, on to the next one. ODB from Our Lifestyle Podcast. I didn't really formally introduce myself earlier. Thanks so much to Street Trucks. We've got Beltec, huge sponsors and supporters of this. I know we have United Pacific and then Classic Trucks of America, so thank you guys so much. But we're here with none other than Brandon Burrell from Burrell Images. He's no stranger. He's had so many features and covers, but this is what was cool to me, man. Brandon took some time to build a lowered truck. He has on a lot of lifted stuff, so all the lifted guys out there, he's done a lot of cool stuff, but I don't want to take all the limelight. Brandon, what's going down, my friend?
What's going on, ODB?
Everything's good, man. So talk to us a little bit about this killer Ram. I don't even want to say Dodge Ram, because we all know it's just a Ram.
It's technically a Fiat, I guess.
Man, let's do this. Walk us around this thing, man.
It's a 2019 Ram. Debuted at SEMA 2019. Fat Fabs bagged it. Did 26-inch drop star wheels on it. Ultimate Audio freshened up the interior in it. It was actually on the August 2020 cover of Street Trucks, so you may have seen it before.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. And here's the crazy thing to me. When I look at the stance of it, you almost kind of get, you kind of get like, okay, it's a Ram, okay, you get that, and then you kind of get the feel of like, okay, it's a newer style truck, but there's so much work that has went into this, and I tell you what, man, you know this, it's one of the cleanest ones out there, if not the cleanest. So walk us around, talk to us about, we'll start with just kind of the stance and everything, and then we'll move around to the interior and the engine bay next.
Okay, like I said, I had Fat Fabs. They did a full bag job on it. We stuffed 26x9s and 26x12s under the truck. I wanted to build the truck to drive, to tow. It's not a trailer queen. You can probably expect to see a custom vehicle on a trailer behind it as much as we can.
And here's another cool thing, man, that you know, Chris and Hamilton and Nicole, we were talking earlier. Can you raise this up? Because a lot of folks, right, because we've got a good subscriber base out there. There's going to be people that are going to go back and watch this. You got the phone app. Let's get this real quick. You got the Airlift phone app, and literally, one of you guys to see this, you just literally push on the phone, right? You're an iPhone user, and then the truck raises up. You hear the compressors automatically kick on. So many of the viewers out there, they know the way this stuff works, but for those that don't, you basically have air suspension on all four corners. Talk to us about the ride, whether you're low or you're a little bit higher, cruising, you know, as we all like to call it, skating, which is riding low.
This thing rides as good at this height, at ride height, as it does 1.5 inches off the ground. Whether it's got a trailer behind it or 4 people in it, it rides as good as it did stock.
like about this is the functionality of the bed. You kind of have, to me, when you look in the bed, it's not all metalwork, and it has the function, right? So you've got this flippable panel, and on top of that, you pretty much got your little carpet piece in there, so you can throw in all your gear. So when you're on a road trip, this is all you need, man.
Exactly. It's like having a trunk in a car. I didn't want it to be all paintable where you couldn't use it, couldn't throw a tent, chairs, luggage. Got to be able to throw everything you can in it.
Okay, so talk to us about the interior, because you know what, a lot of these newer trucks, you know, you kind of see that the guys spend a lot of money on the outside of it, and you know the interiors are so nice in new trucks. Let's be honest, but you took it to the next level.
Well, the interior of the Ram is what sold me on that versus a GM truck or anything else. The fit and finish, the 12-inch factory screen that's in it. We had the seats, had Ultimate Audio pull off all the tan leather that came factory in it. Swapped it to custom seat design. Actually had to get the leather from Ram because no aftermarket companies make that color.
Wow, did not know that.
Yeah, then had the suede headliner done and all the painted pieces put in.
And then also another feature that I love with this is you've got the sunroofs in it. So how cool is it riding down the strip? You've got those open, right? Is they call these sunroofs on these?
Panoramic sunroof is what this one is.
Excellent. Now, last but not least, let's look at the engine bay, because you know what? Again, this is another nice feature that you did. You kind of took it to the next level, and we always love seeing this thing how it shows. The engine bay, to me, you took a modern truck and you kind of gave it a little bit of a classic appeal.
I'm one on details, so we wanted to make sure every detail of the truck was touched. Took it to Eddie Gordy at Big Black Fabrication. Pretty much said I want to cover all the wire and AC lines to make it look like a polished out hot rod. Went with the satin look to continue the hot rod look. Built a custom intake for it and covered everything.
Yeah, and contrary to some people's belief, when you were doing some of this work, there were some folks that were going, oh man, that's gonna, you had kind of some of the experts that were like, oh man, you're not gonna get the cooling. But listen, these newer trucks are set up, that air comes through the front, and they're in reinforced, so there's no challenge with that.
No, it actually runs cooler because the top cover actually funnels the air to the motor. I tell people you shut the hood on your truck, it don't have holes in it, so.
Yeah,
but like the fuse panel's accessible, the washer fluid's accessible. We made sure everything was completely usable on this truck where we didn't have any issues on the side of the road or whatnot.
Excellent, little Allen heads, boom, and then it exposes those little areas to fill. But Brandon, I gotta ask you this as we kind of wind down this little interview, man. Thanks for what you do for street trucks and the scene, right? But I gotta ask you this, so what's your favorite aspect of your Ram?
The fact that I can hop in it, drive it anywhere I want to, drives and rides as good as it does factory, and I don't have to question it.
And that, my friend, is Brandon Burrell of Burrell Images. Thanks for what you do for the scene. We're out here for street trucks. Big ups to Beltec, big supporter of what we're doing today in Southeast Mini Nats, also known as Minitruckin Nationals. On to the next one. Yo, it's ODB from Our Lifestyle Podcast out here again, continuing our coverage of Southeast Minitruckin Nationals, also known as Mini Nats. And we've got our next enthusiast, Jeff Giles. Really good dude. Jeff, come over here real quick, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from.
I'm Jeff Giles. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina.
South Carolina's in the house. He's representing Relaxed Atmosphere. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff. Man, we love your full-size Chevy, also known around the scene as OBS. OBS are on the rise, as we've been saying. I know you're super excited about this truck, right? So what's one thing you've been working on mostly the last little bit of time?
I just done a stock glass chop top. I got all the info from IF Customs Carry. Reached out to her.
Yeah, and as we kind of walk over here, IF Customs OG Carry, what a great guy he is, and you had asked him for a little bit of advice on that.
Sure, I did. He gave me a lot of information. Actually sent me a lot of pictures from the early 2000s when they was doing them. Just sort of went off the pictures and it worked out great. All stock glass, no glass has been cut, windows roll up fine. Just needs to be body work and just really finish the truck, interior.
The cool thing about you bringing this out is oftentimes, everybody sees all the nice shiny stuff here, but as you know, Jeff, under construction is a big part of the scene that we all love.
Sure.
And it's awesome that you'll bring your truck out for other people to see the progress, right? Because there's a lot of hard work in it. Really, what's next on the chopping block, so to speak, in terms of what you plan to do with your 88 to 98?
I want to take it back home, probably blow it all back apart, and start the process of just painting and detailing, body work. I've got a ton of old school billet for it. I've got billet AC vents. I've got a lot of stuff from Empire from years ago, new old stock stuff.
Oh, let me buy that. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I've got an LS for it. Right now it's just got a 4.3, but the plans are I've got a new LS and all four I want to put in.
Excellent. Talk to us a little bit about what you plan for the kind of the rear end of the truck here. I know you've got the bed raise, obviously part of the body drop, but what's the plan? You're gonna flip the handle, you gonna roll pan? What's the idea there?
I want to flip the handle, but I'm gonna keep the bumper. I'm gonna shave the top bumper pads,
cool,
and then lower pads, and just have a slick bumper on the rear. I want just a real clean truck, nothing fancy, just old school billet wheels. And
love the tag on it by El Chapo, a little bit of spin off of El Chapo.
That's right.
So cool stuff there. You represent relaxed atmosphere. You guys are celebrating your 30th anniversary next year, so congrats to you guys. Kind of bring us home here as we hit the driver's side of the truck. Any other mods that you're planning that you wanted to mention?
Not really, nothing major. I just want a real clean sort of stock truck, just cool. A truck I can get in and drive. My last truck was more of a show truck, and really enjoyed it, but I want to enjoy some driving time and actually drive to some shows instead of towing.
Excellent. And as we kind of wind this down, wanted to reinforce that with Beltec, a lot of these older trucks were bagged and bodied and things like that with Beltec, with the spindles and things like that. But also want to give a huge shout out. He's a contributor to Street Trucks, is Ronnie at OBS Talk. He also has C10 Talk and some of his other ventures. So if you want to hear more about OBS trucks, check out OBS Talk, or of course over here on our lifestyle podcast, we're over here to come check us out as well. So thank you guys so much. Big ups to Beltec. Jeff, thanks for taking the time, brother.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Biaggi on our lifestyle podcast, teaming up with Street Trucks today. I'm here with Chris and Nicole and the rest of the street team, as we call it. Thanks so much to them, and again, big shout out to Beltec.
Frank, I put on Southern Tradition in Canton, Georgia.
Cool. And this Toyota truck that you have is amazing. You've acquired it, but you've also kind of become, as I always say, the curator of some of these amazing trucks. You've also kind of done a few things. As we start to do the walk around here in a minute, just talk to us a little bit about what's been done to your truck.
So it's a 95 Toyota pickup, 22 RE turboed, everything, audio-wise, 410s, custom leather interior, sitting on 20-inch wheels, wheelwood brakes, the big brake upgrade from Suicide Doors, 4Runner front bumper, 4Runner front grille, fully smooth, shaved tail, tailgate, actuator in the bed with the license plate, billet interior, got it turboed. The interior, we got custom graphics still all the way through the door with the paint, all leather wrapped dash, all the seats are leather with the little metal divots in it, pinstriping with the gold leaf in it, front and back.
Excellent. Now, you got your little, pound out here. Talk to us about the pup, man, because you know what? There's a lot of animal lovers out there. We're out here at the show. It's pretty cool. You can bring the puppy in. What's the pup's name, man?
This is Pickles. She's a Catahoula leopard. She was a rescue, and now she's up to shows, and she loves everybody. She's definitely a show dog for sure.
You know what I mean? So, hey, listen, thanks to everybody here at Minitruckin Nationals. We're partnered up here with Street Trucks to be out here to give you guys some content via whether you're on our website, or Facebook. We're going to continue bringing you a lot of coverage on out here. And when we see your Toyota cruising in, man, we know it's going to be on. And
That'd be like me going in there.
So, Walker Frank, thank you so much. Any last words, brother? So, to the next victim.
That's right.
Brandon Burrell here with Burrell Images, out here for Street Trucks Magazine, out here with
Speak up a little bit.
So tell us about the truck. Where'd you get it? Who painted it? Who built it? It seems to be a lot of the shows on this coast. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it was built.
Give me a second.
Kyle Gann, Dion, and Craig Fraser. Yeah, the interior is done by Mr. Scrapes, Great Customs out of Sumner, South Carolina. We integrated some of the graphics into the door panels and inside the bed interior. Did some one-off and 4 panels with some trim. Cal Concepts, Air Syndicate, Kyle K. Daddy Gann did the fiberglass airbrush work and all the paint. Graphics out of Bakersfield, California. Diverty Designs, one-off, billet sword shifter, Colorado Custom 1820 staggered with the Colorado Custom South Park steering wheel. It's got insane Cal Concepts, graphics, and depth, a lot of dimension and depth in there. Candies and airbrush. Nostalgic checkered with the blue and white and the blue watermark from Craig Fraser. Everything shaved with Sir Michael's roll pan. Tried to leave the Nissan logo in there so you can kind of tell what it is, being if it's a vert. Got the OLP plaque in the back for Our Last Hour of the Podcast. Check that out on Podbean or your Apple app. Listen to the podcast, Minitruck, mics, 80s, 90s, hip hop. Give it a listen. Get some history on some mini trucks. Some Colorado Customs there. I want to thank Michael at Colorado Customs for what you guys do, take care of, building a sick wheel, bringing back the South Park. Hasn't been out since the early 90s. The 20 in there looks really huge on this little mini truck versus the front 18. I like how it has the airbrush inside.
Is it from above?
Did a bunch of powder coating from AE Powder Coating out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Did a Lollipop Purple, some billet accessories on there. Header, an all new exhaust, aluminum radiator, excess battery with excess billet terminals. Trans billet grill.
Hi, this is David with United Pacific Industries. This week we're here at the Week to Wicked build. We're building our C10 truck. You can see them working on it behind us. I thought I'd take a moment to show you a few of the products that we manufacture. One of our signature items is putting modern technology in classic lighting. So we make exact copies of the OE looking lenses with, in this case, the sequential taillights in the 55-59, 60-66, 67-72, and the 73 to 87 square bodies as well. This lighting provides a level of safety that classic cars desperately need, especially when you're coming home from the car show late at night. Also displayed here is our chrome rear bumper. We make the front bumper. We also now make the painted versions of those as well. And everything needed in between, the bumper bolts, license plate frame, license plate light. We also manufacture, wiper arms and blades. And then on the interior side, of course, we do all the factory door handles from 47 to 87. Steering wheel and steering wheel accessories, the chrome dash bezel, brake pedal with deluxe trim, dome light lens. And for the interior, we also make lighting that is perfect to put underneath your dash rail, light up the floorboard. For the exterior, we make the rear view mirrors, and these rear view mirrors have the turn signal feature in them as well. Everything needed to get your truck back on the road. Check out our products at upcarparts.com. All these items are displayed there, and you can read a little bit about our lighting LED technology as well.
Yo, it's ODB from Our Lifestyle Podcast. We're continuing our coverage here at Minitruckin, also known as Southeast Minitruckin Nationals. Thanks to Street Trucks for coming out. We're here with the street team, and we've got Kerry Bewley all the way from the Midwest, the big homie, and his awesome truck. Why don't you introduce yourself and just let them know exactly where you're from?
I'm Kerry Bewley from Avon, Indiana, west side of Indianapolis, right by where Truck Bash used to be. Here's my truck, Project Indy.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it, and I want to reinforce, this guy's been doing this stuff a long time, and it's pretty cool. There's a whole story that we did on the podcast to talk about this, but I want you to kind of, we're going to cut away, let's walk over here and talk a little bit about the awesome truck. Talk about some of the higher key mods that you've done or that are done to this thing.
Well, you know, the Phantom Grill, the hood that we tarried along and designed back in the day, most people recognize this truck for being in the ads for all the hoods. That is a big deal to me. We, being Project Indy and being themed on the checkers, and me being from Indianapolis and racing, that the modifications to make it fit in with the racetrack and the racing theme was a big deal to me.
Yeah, so it kind of has the flow of the paint with the whole Indy, to your point, Indianapolis type race. Yep. Now, the cool thing is it's a Survivor truck, so I'm going to open the door here if I can. Yep. Wanted everyone to see the awesome interior on it.
This, yeah, this has not been restored. This is still from
the late 90s.
Yeah, I leased this truck in 1995, late 95. It's a 96 model. Tore it apart with 80 miles on it, and currently I think it's getting ready to turn 91,000. And that is on all the suspension, paint, and everything.
Yep. Yeah, and I love how, again, it's really when we think of a truck that is like a Survivor truck, we'll often refer to like BMX bikes, yeah. Survivor bikes. This is a Survivor truck, and he drives it. Now, you did refresh maybe the compressor and things like that, yep, just to kind of keep it roadworthy. Yep. But for the most part, everything, it's Survivor, the paint and everything.
Yep. I did not. I put some new airbags in it and some airlines in it, but it was still all the original stuff that I'd put in it in '95.
Awesome.
So I updated it just for security reasons.
Talk to us about the wheels, man. They're smaller, as we say today, but you keep them clean.
Baby billets. That's a 17-inch billet specialty Indy wheel. The interesting thing about this is originally these were on it in the photo shoot. Then it went to SEMA, and Weld made a set of 20-inch wheels for it. And when I sold the truck, it had the Weld 20s on it. Well, I do not know where those are at. And if you've seen it online, when I got it back, it had some spinning wheels on it, which I'm not a fan of.
Right.
But the moral of the story is these wheels I sold 23 years ago to a guy, and he still had them. And these are the original wheels and dust covers that were on this truck in the photo shoot.
Yeah, if you check out Kerry Bewley's interview that we did on Our Lifestyle Podcast, he'll talk about the actual unbelievable story of how he got this truck back. To me, one of my favorite aspects, Kerry, is that pinkish color in there, right? I don't know if it's magenta. The paint has withstood 25 plus years, basically, at this point, give or take, right?
Yep.
What's your favorite aspect of owning this thing? Because I know you're proud of it, man.
Well, I'm proud to know thing back in the day is still lasting. That we were doing things right, and we cared. It was a passion, it was a lifestyle, and it still is to this day. So to get it back and know it's this good a shape and not been restored, that's huge for me.
Yeah, and I gotta say this, folks. If you've been into trucks as long as we have, and you start thinking about the 90s, Beltec was synonymous, and they have been around all these years, and they're still out there. Beltec is still supporting the scene, and they're supporting what we're doing today. So a lot of these trucks, they have the Beltec spindles and things like that, the shackles, the hangers. But whether you got a new school truck or an old school truck, look no further than Beltec suspension. They're on top of their game, and they're on all social media platforms. ODB, come in here real quick. Thank you so much for supporting the scene and coming out here, brother. We're on to the next one, friend.
Living the dream.
That beard dough. We out you.
With Burrell Images here working with Street Trucks Magazine at the Maggie Valley Minitruckin Nationals. I'm here with Daryl Poe with his beautiful S10. You want to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you have here?
Yeah, man, my name's Daryl Poe, and I'm from Bluefield, West Virginia. And I built this 1996 Chevy S10. Took me 7 years to build.
Well, why did it take you 7 years to do it?
Well, because, you know, I mean, life and family and soccer games and stuff like that. So I probably could have been done a little sooner, but
you did it yourself.
I did, yes, I did. I built the truck myself with the help of a lot of friends and family. So yeah, we did that, and then Adam Cutler did the airbrush work, and Adam Quisenberry did the black paint. He did the clear and the buffing and the body, all the body work. So yeah.
So tell us about the theme of the truck. What's the theme behind it?
Well, I'm fascinated with the history behind Doc Holliday, and of course Tombstone is my favorite movie ever. And so I just kind of we kind of went off of that. We had different plans for it originally to put like the whole cast of Tombstone on there, but it ended up evolving into just being like a Doc Holliday thing. So yeah, that's kind of how we come up with it.
So you started with stock chassis. Did you build a whole new chassis or what?
Actually, it is the stock S10 frame. It actually has Thorbeck control arms in the front. I designed the 4-link and did custom work in the back as far as the upper wishbone and all the lower 4-link bars and the back cups and everything. I wanted to leave the stock chassis. I could have stock floored it, I guess, but I like the body drop feel on something that you're not going to ride every day. It's kind of cool, I guess, for me.
Now, tell us about some of the body mods you threw into it.
Actually, I did all the fender work underneath here, the panels, just to protect it there, and we did the Scott Hot Rods tail lights. I had some buckets made for those, and so yeah, and then we did the mirrors. I didn't want to leave the plastic pieces for the mirrors, so I made a bucket for it and molded it in to kind of match the tail lights where they roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did trailer fenders, of course, and then I put panels on the side, and then did the cutouts to give like some wire, you know, almost like a mesh.
What's your wheel setup on it?
It's 22 by 8.5. They're pro wheels. Pro wheels, and their style's called Hot Rods.
So you bodied on 22 wheel for a body drop in this 10.
Yeah, for sure. But,
well, tell us a little bit about the interior. What's
the interior was the seats were done at King's Upholstery in Roanoke, Virginia, and then the carpet was done by Big Lick Rod and Customs in Roanoke, Virginia, and then pretty much everything else. I built the panels, built the speaker box and the console, and I had a couple buddies help me cover that, Kenny Franklin and Andy Harmon. I did the sheet metal dash and the door trim. I had to, of course, section the dash and mold it, and then I made the pieces on the doors, which the front part is actually the Ford factory stuff. The rest I had to build.
Let's open the hood and see what you got under the hood here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So what you got going on under here?
Well, it's basically just a small block 350 crate motor. Just kind of slimmed down. I wanted it to be real slim, not a lot of wires and things like that. So did that, and then just your basic valve covers and air cleaner and Demon carburetor. I did all the trailer fenders, molded the fenders in, and pretty much the whole firewall is completely rebuilt. I cut the whole firewall out, brought the firewall down to the bottom and it's braced, of course, but brought it all to the bottom of the ground.
You said you did something in the motor to be able to fit the stock hood on it.
I actually did. I lowered the engine as far as I could lower it and set it back, and as you can see, the firewall tubbed out for it, but I wanted to be able to shut a stock hood. I did not. On this truck here, I just didn't think a cow hood would look as clean, so yeah, I set everything back as far as I could do it, made my own custom engine mounts, and so yeah, and of course I had to redo the steering and get it right.
So the story is this is actually your wife Nikki's truck.
I don't know about all that now. I mean, she helps me clean it and acts like it's hers, but no, I couldn't have done this without her. big inspiration and big help in getting this truck to where it's at. So special thanks to her, of course.
Seem to be racking up the best of shows, best mini trucks all over the country.
I have. It's actually pretty cool. I never dreamed I'd win a best of show, but that's pretty cool. And just the acknowledgement from talking to people saying that they followed it ever since it was just a chassis kind of means more to me than anything. You know, people keep up with it that long. You know, so pretty cool.
Classic Parts of America. Over 30 years experience. Supplying Chevy and GMC truck parts from 1947 to 1998. 67 through 69 Camaro, 68 through 74 Nova, and 68 through 72 Chevelle. With a growing inventory of over 16,000 Chevy and GMC parts. Free tech support to guide you, a website to find them. Free shipping on orders over $499.95. ClassicParts.com. Spend less time and money restoring, more time enjoying.
Hey guys, we're out here at Minitruckin Nationals, aka Mini Nats 2020 with street trucks. Want to give a huge shout out to Beltec. Beltec Matt, he's out there on Instagram, always killing it on social media. But Beltec, fantastic company. They're partnered up with street trucks for this and some other companies we'll talk about. But first and foremost, please subscribe to this famed magazine. You can go out to your local newsstands, or of course you can Google street trucks. You'll land on Engaged Media's website. Please subscribe. It's one of the last national truck publications out there, and we love our street trucks. So this is about Mini Nats, and we're here with a guy named Cliff from ECM. And Cliff, you came along
2004 Chevy Colorado. Little shop built the frame. Yeah, we switched the wheels. Charm City Upholstery did the interior. And then also my friend Kenny Dean out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, did the paint job, full graphics, narrow rear, 24s, body, stock floors. I drive it everywhere. This thing is a beast.
Wheels on it, right? So Minis, for the longest time, have always pushed the limits with bigger wheels, right? So, the old days, the 50s and 60s are gone. How long does it take you to polish these all Minis?
Hours. I spend probably a week prepping before I get here, and then I drove 10 hours to get here, and then you get here and you start doing it again. But we're good.
I love it. Now, when you come around the tail end of the car, excellent. Now, under the hood, now I know right now you all kind of just got here. Talk to us a little bit. Any mods, or is it just wheel tubs and things like that?
Yeah, just some wheel tubs, stock floor, cold air intake, and that kind of stuff. Future plans, hopefully one day put LA.
Now, the last thing before we jump over to our next victim, go ahead and open the door. Just want to get a peek inside the truck, because you got an awesome interior. And when you look at the steering wheel all the way to the seats, it's pretty awesome. Center console, of course, you've got AccuAir, and I love the center console how it flows to the back. And you also have a matching intro, keep me honest, intro steering wheel. That's correct. Now remember, everyone, this is coming to you by a few of our fine sponsors, including Beltec. So shout out to Beltec. If you're in the market to lower your vehicle or you need suspension components, look up Beltec. They're the first choice in suspension. The wheel tubs in the back look good. You have a Rhino liner, bed liner style. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I got it. Eric and Little Shop did it up at their shop. They did a killer job on it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's a well-built driving truck.
Talk to us about the license plate, and then we're going to move on to the next one.
All right, well, it says who you with, and that's because
Giles. It was an incredible truck. I took it down, I repainted it, redid the interior. Jeffrey did all the mods on it, all the body work, all the frame.
What year is it?
It's 88 model Mazda. Stitch by stitch, did the interior. Jan Van Kooten's his name. I did all the paintwork, paint by Blake. Hot rod by Boyd wheels, steering wheel. It's got a AR-15 in the headliner. That's one of the neat custom tricks we did to it. Phoenix Gold stereo and Alpine. And that's about it.
Ooh, I don't want to mess with you.
Cadillac tail lights, Miata handles.
Oh yeah, Miata handles.
Miata handles, Toyota front bumper. It's all PPG paint.
It's air ride, right?
Air ride. Well, it took about 2.5 months to paint.
Sorry.
About 2.5 months to do the interior. We did the truck pretty quick, but like I said, we started with a really nice truck from the get-go. It wasn't beat up. It was a nice piece.
So what made you pick the AR-15?
Well, we kind of copied that. I'd seen where somebody had done it in the back of the seat. I just wanted to do something new school and put it in the headliner instead of the seat. You know, I hadn't seen anybody do that yet.
So tell us about the graphics. How'd you come up with that?
The graphics, you know, I've grown up. My heroes were Cal Concept in California with all their crazy paint. And I've tried to mimic them my whole life. You know, the back, I've copied that off Last Look. You know, I did that. That's a throwback to Last Look. In this swag here, that's copied off the Woodrunner, Sean Carlson's Woodrunner. I throwed that in there, and then you know everything else is just.
What kind of compressors and airbags and stuff?
It's got bi-air compressors. I'm not sure about the bag.
That's cool.
That's whatever Jeffrey put on there. I don't know.
Can we see the engine?
It's got bi-air compressors.
Nice.
But this right here is all Jeffrey's work. You know, he built an exceptional truck.
Move the brake lines down.
It's all stock floor body drop. You know, it's not been cut up.
Yeah.
It's stock floor.
Very cool. You drive it?
I do drive it. We went to Severed in the Midwest right after I bought it. And actually, my tow truck, my dually, I blowed my dually up on the way.
Really?
So we unloaded this out of the trailer and threw the suitcases in it and drove it on. You know,
that's
but
awesome.
It's
the driver, man. That's his best.
We do drive it.
She fucking found
I want to drive it more since after I was saving it for this show in Bama. And we're going to start driving it a bunch now.
Well, I can't wait to see this thing in print, man.
Me too.
You gonna be out rolling tonight?
Thank you. I've had this truck since '99. Been through various phases. Got completed in 2011. Government trucking. Rodberg and Air Force and Maryland for all their hard work.
it's awesome that it's a truck that is driven. When you look at how low these Ford Rangers, when you do the work right and you really get them down, the things are super, super low. And man, talk to us a little bit about the interior.
So I made a console out of fiberglass and just painted a factory dash. Brad driven, hooked up our door panels and the seats, and the headliners, and rest of the interior panels, obviously. A lot of the stuff was just done by me and my friends, and then other than driven and Big Dog, it's pretty much just me and my friends.
All right, last thing. This truck's looked like this a long time, and I wanted to stay this way. But we got to look over here real quick, and I got to ask you this: are you ever going to change it? I hope not, but I got to ask you.
I've loved this version of the truck. It's been through several different versions, but I don't know. I don't have any plans of changing it. I do have ambitions to build other things. I'll probably be buried in this truck. It's kind of just who I am. It represents me, and I don't know. Everybody knows me by this truck. My buddy Ron did a shirt with me on it. Unfortunately, he put me on there, but it's pretty cool. Ron and Hammer weekend wear, so it's just awesome. Good stuff. I'm glad all the positive comments and the good reactions I get out of the truck. I built it for me. I built to enjoy it, but everybody seems to love it, so that's really cool. It makes you feel good.
Well, I appreciate you sharing the story, and that's one cool thing about the truck scene, the truck community. As many of you know, you're subscribers to the famed Street Trucks magazine. The awesome thing is we come out to these shows and you see the passion that people put into them, and it just goes a long way. And when people like him come from the Northeast to come to a show in the middle of the mountains, it means a lot. So for the Street Trucks team, Phil, thank you so much, brother. Any last word?
It's awesome. Love it. Mini Trucker forever. I've been doing this for since '93, and I'm still just as excited to be here. I came down on Wednesday, and that's how excited I am about the show. Just like when I was 17, I'm just catching up with all these people and seeing all the rides. It's amazing. So if you ain't been here, make sure